bridge, been the wishing well, held my tongue, held the line, called it love when it cost me time. I learned real slow what truth can do. It don't shout, it just walks from you. Some doors close without a sound. That's how freedom finally's found. I don't hate you, I don't blame, I just won't bleed to keep you the same. I'm no longer carrying you. Your weight ain't mine to pull me through. I gave my fire, I paid my dues. Now I choose what I choose. No hard words, no last goodbye. Just a man learning when to drive. I'm no longer carrying you. There's a difference, strength and change. One builds life, one feeds the pain. I mistook them for years on end, calling burden being a man. But my kids don't need a ghost, they need a father standing close. Not hollowed out, not split in two, living proof of truth lives through. I don't run, I don't erase, I just refuse a borrowed place. I'm no longer carrying you. Your storms ain't mine to see you through. I gave my fire, I paid my dues. Now I choose what I choose. No hard words, no last goodbye. Just a man learning when to drive. I'm no longer carrying you. This ain't about leaving people behind. It's about not leaving myself there anymore. I'm no longer carrying you, but I'm still walking honest and true. If love remains, it meets me whole, not as a weight upon my soul. No anger left, no need to prove, just space enough for life to move. I'm no longer carrying you. Engine hum, morning breaks, road stays open.
These are unpublished, so I have no idea what some of these songs really are, but they are.
Oh, roll, roll, morning light, engine low.
They're from a time where I had to process a lot of things, and because of that, it's like a diary, and many songs will sound like horrible, like stupid, downright freaking weird. But they have a message, and that message makes sense to me. So I think it can relate to a lot of other people as well, if you just listen for what it says, and then don't mind the whole artificialness of it. Also, I'm trying to learn some of these songs I'm trying to learn so that I can sing them by the fire, and that is a new experience.
I've been the rope when others fell, been the bridge, been the wishing well, held my tongue, held the line, called it love when it cost me time. I learned real slow what truth can do. It don't shout, it just walks from you. Some doors close without a sound. That's how freedom finally's found. I don't hate you, I don't blame, I just won't bleed to keep you the same. I'm no longer carrying you. Your weight ain't mine to pull me through. I gave my fire, I paid my dues. Now I choose what I choose. No hard words, no last goodbye. Just a man learning when to drive. I'm no longer carrying you. There's a different strength and change. One builds a life, one feeds the pain. I mistook him for years on end, calling burden being a man. But my kids don't need a ghost, they need a father standing close, not hollowed out, not split in two, living proof of truth lived through. I don't run, I don't erase, I just refuse a borrowed place. I'm no longer carrying you. Your storms ain't mine to see you through. I gave my fire, I paid my dues. Now I choose what I choose. No hard words, no last goodbye. Just a man learning when to drive. I'm no longer carrying. This ain't about leaving people behind. It's about not leaving myself there anymore. I'm no longer carrying you, but I'm still walking honest and true. If love remains and meets me whole, not as a weight upon my soul. No anger left, no need to prove, just space enough for life to move. I'm no longer carrying you.
Engine hum, morning breeze, road stays open.
I was born in the South, but the North calls my name. Like a whisper through the pines, like an unforgotten flame. I walk the roads of shadow, I breathe the ancient cold. A wanderer becoming what the old ones once foretold. And I rise with a fire in my chest and the storm in my eyes, where the lost find their way and the weary grow wise. By the ember and the story, by the truth I unfold, I return to the north with a soul made of gold. There were nights I was silenced, nights the world spoke loud, where my calm was broken open by the chaos of the crowd. But the stillness in my core held the rhythm of the land, so I learned to speak with thunder resting softly in my hand. And I rise with the fire in my chest and the storm in my eyes, where the lost find their way and the weary grow wise. By the ember and the story, by the truth I unfold, I return to the north with a soul made of gold. In my bones, old echoes in my breath. I've died 100 times and walked back out of death. I am forged by every burden, every trial I have known, and the north wind carves a kingdom in the marrow of my bones. So I ride Let the mountains hear my vow as the dark spirit flies. May my children walk in freedom under wide open skies. By the flame and the footsteps, by the tales yet untold, I return to the north, and I rise from the cold. I was born in the South, but the North calls my name. Like a whisper through the pines, like an unforgotten flame. I walk the roads of shadow, I breathe the ancient cold. A wanderer becoming what the old ones once foretold. And I rise with the fire in my chest and the storm in my eyes, where the lost find their way and the weary grow wise. By the ember and the story, by the truth I unfold, I return to the north with a soul made of gold. There were nights I was silenced.
It is AI, and then I attempt to learn to sing that by the fire. So it's kind of like hearing your own story before it has been created, and then learning how to perform the song that you found interesting. I'm currently doing some stuff on the back end, so that's why I have muted my microphone while I sing to this and then do something else. And then for those people who want to hear, you know, the acoustic version, I guess, that's going to come very soon. And I look forward to it. It's fun.
Nights the world spoke loud, where my calm was broken open by the chaos of the crowd. But the stillness in my core held the rhythm of the land. So I learned to speak with thunder, resting softly in my hand. And I rise with a fire in my chest and the storm in my eyes, where the lost find their way and the weary grow wise. By the ember and the story, by the truth I unfold, I return to the north with a soul made of gold. You're a craft in my bones, old echoes in my breath. I have died 100 times and walked back out of death. I am forged by every burden, every trial I have known. And the north wind carves a kingdom in the marrow of my bones. So I rise, let the mountains hear my vow as the dark sky replies. May my children walk in freedom under wide open skies. By the flame and the footsteps, by the tales yet untold, I return to the north, and I rise from the cold.
It's been an interesting journey, the whole music
My
thing.
voice. I speak with a dark, warm tone.
I'm trying to clone my voice. That was also an interesting thing, because if I made a digital version of myself that is kind of limited by my vocal spectrum, then I could really practice my own songs. And it's a game changer. I mean, it's like having it. You know when you pay a music teacher? You pay a music teacher to kind of learn how to sing? Well, in this case, you learn to sing from yourself, almost. It's like this kind of dawned on me when I started to play with the drum. Because this drum, it sings when you hit specific notes. It's not a beating drum, it's a singing drum. Everything vibrating here with that sick bass. Oh, I like that because I have a horrible sound system. I don't even know what type of bass there is. This, though, like this doesn't carry through the microphone as I want it to. And that sucks ass because there is something happening when you sing into the drum. And if you sing the old songs, goddamn, bro. Goddamn, bro. I'm going to show you. I'm going to sing and I'm going to just have the neighbors wonder, what the fuck is going on? But I have to see if it actually works because my microphone keeps muting my audio. It turns it down when there's too much going on. And the frequencies, the vibrations that you can hear and feel when you're in the vicinity of the drum completely goes away. It completely disappears when it goes over the ethers, when it goes through this thing. Digital tour would be a boring... Yeah, I know. Only the Turiu is the truth. Only the Toribi. Yes, don't I understand. And I agree, 100%. But I wanted to scare the shit out of people, practically, and with love, and in a constructive way. Because if I had a digital version that guided them from the internet to the physical me by the fire, then I didn't have to do all the fucking maintenance and the PR and all that stuff. I didn't have to, I could just be by the fire, be where I wanted to be, sing into the drum and stuff. And then people could be guided by the other me to the real me. And then if they didn't know it was a fake me, if they didn't know it was an AI version of me, then I could say, well, that's why we need to talk about how to not be used by technology and how to start using your own. Kind of. Let me sing you a song. Okay. Ik zong aan de zuchten. Ik zong aan de zenden. Doden djupas de brunn i gav mig droppar såra mig av allfaders pant. You see, I have to kind of do a whole breathwork session when I'm trying to sing this song. And by the fire, it's different. Because then I probably have, done a blowjob, blown the horn before I do that. This one. Because this also, it maintains a tone for so long that it feels like that's not possible. And it's based on an old practice called, I don't know what, in Hindi, they call it chunk, or in the East. It's when you blow into a conch and you hold the tone. And it's like a Wim Hof / Joe Dispenza / fucking Ragnar Lothbrok experience. And then you go into stasis, or state of mind, and a meditative state. And it's a whole fucking breathwork session. So I usually breathe into 3 horns, or I blow 3 sounds when I do things on the mountain. And then I try to do that with the drum, and all of a sudden there's a kind of the same thing. You can hold tones for a fucking long time, and with practice, it seems like you can hold a clean tone as well. And if I can do that by the fire, I'm excited. Let's see. But it's still your own words, so it's not fake in that sense. No, it's my words. It's a kind of a translation of my soul. And that's why I like it so much, because I could give it the context. I could give it the whole situation, everything that I was feeling in the situation, what I wanted, what I had, all the things, and it translated it. It got the essence. Let me show you how all this began. Let me show you something that is it became much more than I thought. Like it freaking. It was in the beginning when AI first came out, and I wanted to see what is this. And that's the first time I had my notes be the context, and then those notes became lyrics. The lyrics had nothing. I didn't know how to play the guitar either, so I was kind of on the medicine, and all of a sudden I was playing and singing at the same time, and I didn't know how to do either, but I was on 4 grams of Simil and Seada, so it makes sense. But for this time, this one time only, it feels like, someone other than me did the videotaping. Someone actually recorded it, and then I was sent the video the day after. I was like, oh shit. Because I don't think they saw a dude singing and playing the guitar. I was like, holy shit, I could play and sing the guitar. What? And then it was the text, the lyrics. This was based of a experience. The lyrics is based on an experience. The experience is held on a mountain that is part of an adventure. The adventure is kind of a process where people have come from the US and around here locally and stuff, but it's a whole thing. It's a traveling up the mountain, doing the things by like making the fire, pumping the water straight from the fucking mountain. It requires effort, especially in the winter times when there's a lot of snow, middle of the night, maybe a blizzard, and you come up there and it's just pure survival. Now you need the fire. And then you warm up the cabin, and then you go out and you take some medicine, and you come in and you heat up the body. Holy shit, no, I can't explain it. That's why I had to make a song. What's the name of this magical music? What's the name of the AI? It's just the normal one. Everyone uses it. Zuno. But it's way more than that. I use my own experiences and my own thoughts, and then I tell the AI to kind of take it through that lens and make lyrics that has a specific intention. And it has worked so far. I'm going to show you something. This is what I'm talking about. Here is actually the original video as well. You can see.
Into realms unknown, with plant medicine's guidance, our spirits have grown. Tribe experience calls as the stars.
Gazing at the cabin, nestled neath the trees, whispers of the ancients carried by the breeze. Guitar strings are humming, firelight aglow. Legacy forgers, it's time to let go. For tonight we dive deep into realms unknown. With plant medicine's guidance, our spirits have grown. Tribe experience calls as the stars do shine. In this quantum dance, the universe is thine. Dragons we have battled, demons we've defied. Through the darkest valleys and mountains we've climbed. Now we stand united, warriors of the heart. For love is our armor, and this is just the start.
The first one.
Dragons we have battled, demons we've defied.
Through the darkest valleys and mountains we've climbed.
Now we stand united, warriors of the heart. For love is our armor,
And this is just the start.
Mystical moments as the fire crackles near. Laughter and some tears as we conquer our fear.
Epic is the journey of the soul's wild ride. With the legacy forged, we take it all in stride.
For tonight we ascend to dimensions so vast, embracing the future, honoring the past. Tribe experience beckons as the flames dance high. In this cosmic embrace, we touch the sky. Stories of resilience, tales of rebirth, legacy forgers, we know our worth. From challenges faced to the love we found in this sacred space, our spirits are unbound. So here by the cabin, as night turns to day, we'll remember this moment. Come one day, for in the heart of nature, with the fire's warm embrace, we found our true calling in this mystical space.
By the end of it, you'll be resonating with yourself.
It started a whole thing. After that, goddamn, I've been in November. I was on a tour, like with a band, Norway's biggest country dance party band, live since '96. This was as a freaking AI artist, and I felt like an imposter. I felt like I was going into the enemy lines. We tried to make it more of a digital experience, like a physically boosted, digitally boosted physical experience, basically. Time flies. Oh, like, fuck, man. Good to see you. Like, I miss you like hell. You have no idea. I've been thinking about you a lot. Like, there's been so many things happening here. I don't know how much you have seen, but I live here at Death's Waiting Room. And just since I got into this place, like the things that has taken place around it, in it, it blows my mind, honestly. It's been like overload, overstimulation. Even though there's a lot of good things, it just cripples everything. And then that just spiraled. So I've been trying to do what everyone says that I need to do. Just focus on myself. Which has been hard. I feel fucking bad for relaxing. It's weird. But dude, we need to have a conversation again. I miss our talks. I miss you. But I have been locking myself out of all communication with everyone. Like everyone. It's insane. It was needed. Yeah. I hope you had a magical Gregorian milestone event. Gregorian, not sure what to call it yet. I've seen a lot of people like really being like, what? This is fake. I don't want to get out into the dark during fucking winter and then celebrate with a lot of noise and all that stuff. Oh God. And here I am just waiting to begin the year in March. Because last year I started that tradition. I started to like work from March 21st, I think. The spring equinox, and I spent the winter or half of it hibernating. Like it felt natural, and then through the year I just tried to follow the seasons as best I could in the car, and then all of a sudden winter came and I had to adapt, and then here I am. And I said to everyone, I'm just gonna fucking chill. I'm gonna make some fucking magic toddy, and I'm gonna sit by the fire in my living room by the round table. And I can go into the kitchen and I can click a fucking button. And in a little while, I have boiling water. Can go into an epic fucking too big of a shower with a lot of potential. And have a good shower. Those are things that I really came to appreciate in 2025. To be honest. But how do you want to do that? My brother, the glitch. You have so many names. People have no idea who you are in YouTube because you're so different in terms of what you're called compared to Discord or where else they have found you. I will always know you as what I know you as, which always changed or changes. Sandy Man, the glitch. The mysterious person. Free Gaza. But for me, you'll always be Kim. Sometimes that's the only thing to do. Solitude sets the perspective on what's important. I agree fucking wholeheartedly. Also, the fire. People think I'm fucking psychotic for being so obsessed by having a regular fire. For me, it's like, why don't you? What is the reason? And there's science behind it. Like, the embers of a fire, first of all, it activates your stem cells like 4th of July. And there's not much other things that does that, as far as we know. And then with the magic tea, kind of grounds that fire in your system in a way that kind of makes it a fucking nutritious supplement, you know? Without the tea. Afterwards, it's like, now you need a fucking daily regimen of a fire. But the solitude by the fire and then just sitting there, fire is creation. And it's contained chaos. And, bro, you know the discovery? You know that DMT thing? You know all those things, Chris Go? Not Chris Go, is it? Go Thoughts? You know what I'm talking about, at least. So instead of having the laser to wash through the veil, on specific dosages of psilocybin, I have also seen that you can pierce through the veil, through the fire, because it's a frequency, right? But it's completely chaotic. It's not like a steady hertz like the laser. But if you watch closely, you will see sometimes even other colors than what you would expect. The overlap of a grid or something like it's, you can see that there is something. And then I've been like observing this for a year now and seeing how other people, given the same kind of key, but with no input from me, start looking at the fire weirdly. It's like, do you see those? I was like, yes. Can you explain that so that I don't add any thoughts that you can kind of be corrupted by? What do you see? And then people start seeing or saying what they see. And I'm like, to me, that makes sense. You know, it makes sense. It's natural. It's that the natural portal. It's always also been referred to as that, as a portal. And also, when you have it in a group and people are on all different kinds of, let's say, awareness, experience, or just frequencies, it is a equalizer, an anchor. It's the calm in the chaos. It's that thing. It's equally as much a member of the fire as the people around the fire. Yeah, no, fuck. Flames and fires and bonfires has changed drastically for me during this year. Because there were so many scenarios. Ceremonial or just fucking, I'm hungry. Or warmth. Survival. God, I feel like Tom Hanks in Castaway. Like, in a good way, though. But I didn't find I didn't find the amount that I wanted to. I wasn't out looking as much as I should have. And this is a fucking recurring pattern. So I'm not going to be low about that. I have sufficient for a little bit. But I also see that I have to go out on a pilgrimage. And I either have to source or set up something. Invite to the fire. Because now there's a base. This, Death's Waiting Room. If I had the energy, it would be epic. Right now, it's just an abandoned asylum. It's where the fire started. That's how it started. Right now, like, it is an abandoned, or like an old, not abandoned, because I live here, along with 2 other souls. But back in the day, it was a privately owned insane asylum, like a mental hospital. There were straitjackets in the attic. There's a basement here that is not on any plans. We don't know if it is to... We don't know why. We also don't know why it's filled with gravel. Like, is it to block something in or is it to keep something out? Don't know. There's a lot of energy here. There is a 3,500-year-old sacrificial stone in the backyard. A lot of places around there in the backyard and the small forest behind there again where you can build fire huts. We have a few bonfires and fire pans and stuff, but it's going to be more epic. It's called Death's Waiting Room by the locals. Yeah, I know. It's my kind of place as well. People are like, why are you living there? The fucking shower can house at least 4 people. Just that alone, you know? So for me, and also yesterday, I've been living here since November, slightly before, maybe October. And yesterday, I went into what will be the massage studio, the treatment room with the massage bed. There is a little lid. There's a latch in there. It looks like a electrical cabinet. So I found the key and I opened it up and I go into it. Inside here, there's a crawl space. It is a modern built utility room that was kind of built around what's already there. There's like ancient wall, what is the name? Tapet. The walls are covered in ancient styled art, I guess. Just, what is that? Why can't I think of tapet? Anyways, there's also this old freaking hanger on the wall. I was like, shit, what is this? Did I just walk into an old bathroom? And it, coincidentally, it is part of my new bathroom because all the pipes and stuff behind the toilet is like there. I was like, shit, I can grow mushrooms in here. You know? And also, it's like, I've always wanted to have one of those places where you can go into the walls for some reason. I don't know why. This has a room in the wall. Completely unnoticeable. Like, I had no idea. And so I will create something here. I will create a vibe. There will be, you know, carpet and the fireplace and everything in the living room will be one of those places where you come in and you just feel like, fuck, yes. This is what I needed. And everything else around it as well. It's called Death's Waiting Room. And I have a waiting area by the library in the hallway. Now, it sounds a lot bigger than when I say it like that, but it's quite large. And there's like 2 chairs left over from the fucking oak table that I got for free on Facebook, which is it needs to be at least 10,000 crowns. I can't believe that people are tossing out these pieces of art. It's like beautiful. Point. 2 chairs by an old wood and iron bookcase with a bunch of books. And we were thinking, is that then a waiting hallway? Or is that the waiting room in Death's Waiting Room? Because it's technically not by the round table, if you know what I mean. Any energy from the past that you can... Yes. Yes. I woke up once. I have seen a lot of weird things in the corner of my eye, and I've heard a lot of things, and you can feel something sometimes. Like, you feel like you're not alone in the room or whatever. But one of those most in your faces type things that I experienced, I was lying with my right ear on the pillow. And then I heard a very loud shout. And I just got jolted, you know, short and just, I got jolted up from the pillow and was like, shit, what the fuck was that? And I look into the hallway and like, did someone just shout at me from the hallway? But then I was like, but that can't, how the fuck? So I was puzzled a little bit, quite a long time. And then I was outside and having a smoke and my landlord comes over. And this was in the beginning, so we're still kind of getting to know the place. And she says, yeah, there's activity here. Once I was woken up by someone who just shouted, "Woken up!" I was like, shit! That sounds like what I heard. That fits the duration and the tonality. Woken up! I was like, shit. Interesting. I know a few people who are skilled in the transitioning of such things. I haven't had them over yet because I'm still living in boxes, and it's like everything happened at once, and I had to do what I could while it was all happening. It's kind of intense that the fact that I made it through, and like how all this came to be. It's intense. Right now, though, the car, Bandorkar, who has been a fucking loyal travel companion since March, is parked outside. Dead. Won't start. Too cold. The EGR ventil, the fucking particle filter. Everything at once. On the eve. Like the night after a fucking EU checkup. Like a validated, this vehicle is safe to drive type documentation with a bill of 20,000 crowns. I was like, okay, no, I can't. Right now, there's no fucking more room at all. So I've been, because it's not my car either. No, it's part of a project up in the east, the Witch's Cabin. He's very interesting about the whole thing. He's an amazing dude. But it has been a lot of stress in everything at once. So now I'm at the place where, and also this, in addition to other kind of apocalyptic or Ragnarokish events on other aspects of life, everything at once. I've been just sitting here observing. It's just like, how? But interesting. The other side is always around. One just needs to listen. I know. But that's also a thing. I have been the one listening for a very long time. And now, the last months, I've just been putting down boundaries and taking that time that I needed. And people got pissed. Like, the reactions of people that didn't get what they wanted anymore. God damn. I mean, one thought one had experienced energetic conversations and situations, but fuck me. There were different levels to that shit. So I was like, all right, so it's very much the same as the other Spectre. You can feel like things could not get better, and then all of a sudden, whoop. And then you think, wow, it could not get hotter than this. All of a sudden it gets hotter. All of a sudden there's a whole new dimension of what you didn't know didn't know. I just got I got an anal sex philosophy due to this. And people are like, what are you talking about? But it kind of fits. It's like the same thing. Just surrender. Ease into it. Relax. I guess it makes the whole experience a lot more easier to navigate. Life is like anal sex. But now I want a vacation. Like, I really want a good vacation. And then every time, because, like, for instance, as recent as last night, I was called out on a little expedition. Not an expedition, a mission. I don't know how to say it because I don't really work in ambulating mental health services officially. Like your ambulance, I'm not driving out every single day from this to that time because people call a number asking for help. No. It's very much more spontaneous. I'm connected to a fuck ton of people. And some of the people I've been connected to over a long time. And so I am more of a vessel of experience or facts of situations and a perspective. Sometimes that is extremely valuable and good to have in certain situations, like a police interrogation or a filing of a police report where the police needs to be filled in so that they don't act as they would normally act, like kidnapping children or whatever. This is not in my case, or in my family. It's not my family that is in trouble, but my family has just been through an interesting thing. So I have been called to be on the East Coast on Friday. Long story short, and without saying too many details here, because there is no need to, it had to be shifted. Like, I now was preparing for a mission, as I had been so many times before, where I could meet up with strategic partners up along the East Coast, because these days a lot of people were reaching out in the same energy, the same intention, whatever you will, whatever have you. There was now people that would be very good to sit down with, either for space or just a pattern interrupt or just to relax or build or whatever. Like, it was a perfect scenario. The only thing is the time. You see, on Friday, I need to pick up my kids. This would come in the way of that. I am not one to change plans, but lately, a lot of things have happened. So I had to call in a little one of those a few months back or a few weeks back, where I was warming up for Vassendgutane in Lindesnes, Kristiansand, and Langesund. I was literally on a tour as part of the show, The Artist. Now, this is an opportunity that does not come along very often, and because it was salary and because I needed money and all that stuff, I figured there's a stupidity in not grabbing this opportunity. So I did. Went perfect. I came home. I worked in what I needed to in terms of the custody and, like, to make it right, having them over at my place 2 weekends in a row and then just going back to normal. Yesterday, that was not possible. Yesterday, something happened when I was about to leave on an adventure. And I call to update the members of the situation that needs to be updated. Nothing is decided. We have a date and a day, and we have all these hours and days in between to figure out a solution. For me, I find that, I don't know. I found that logical, that we, on those conversations, decide how to do this. If to do this. What can we do with this? Like, so many things are on this same road. We are going the same way. We can co-create. We can communicate, and we can kind of help each other out by both or all involved having a better time doing so. But no. Consciously and just bratly, I'm saying brat specifically, because there is a cadence. There is something in that mindset that is kind of conscious, and you're just doing it for something. And I understand in some cases. In this case, though, it was kind of like, if the government or the police tell you to do something and meet up at this time and you don't, and you get pulled up by a police car that is going to escort you to that meeting that you have to be at, and you still don't meet any cooperation willingness, then I think you're in a place where you have to kind of make some choices and just, you know what? No. That's what I did. I said no to the police. But it's for a purpose. It's like, now I can say, do you know what that required? Do you know what this means? Let's talk about what that actually means and how we can go through situations in the future with less hellhole or less shit storms or less of this. And this is on the ass end of a situation where I was assaulted in front of my kids being then traumatized in our own house, kinda. Long story. I should probably give you the context, because now people are like, what? But it's a situation where me and the kids were directly involved, only us. No one else were here, and there were a lot of reasons as to why everything happened as it did, and it could have gone so much worse, you know? But people found it in their interest or in their right. I don't know what to say. Like, they justified intervening after having sat down and had the patience to sit down for 20 seconds or 20% of the context and then having to run off. A few days after, they go down and they do something that makes no sense to me. On Christmas Eve, me and my kids are at this event, and I'm told, I'm updated. Yeah, so 2 days ago, I was down there by your neighbor there, and I was telling him what's what. I said that if he does that again involving your kids, I'm going to make him vacuum his fucking teeth. Back in the day, I would probably subscribe to the same mentality. Kill him. Kill him. Not now, though. I don't resolve to the brute anymore. Because in this situation, it was so much bigger. It was so much bigger than what they could fathom. And I had to kind of go through the integration of the experience with my kids. They went through hell that night. And how people reacted to that, how they responded, shook me. Because it was so based on ignorant arrogance. Like, you don't intervene with a life that you have no freaking insight in. You don't. There's just like, in my book, you don't. That's just adding to the plate. And given that everyone knew what had been going on around the last few months, there was kind of a understanding, because we were talking about it, of the situation. But then that act kind of completely contradicts everything that has been talked about or said or done before that. It kind of voids the whole thing. It's like people have been showing their whole them, like the authentic them, no filters, them, unconsciously, naturally just being them. And it's not their fault, but I can't be as involved because it costs me more than they probably realize, you know? And these were people close. My kids are on my side, though. The situation is intense. My kids were on my side, seeing the same things that I saw. And not with me saying, oh, tell them, you know, but them responding to what they hear when other people talk about situation that they know. They don't. You know? That brings me to the black coffee theory. Doesn't really, but that's why I went live, just to talk about this thing that really made sense to me. The black coffee theory. It's like when you go to a barista and you want a chai tea. That's what you want. You go in and it's your time to order, and they ask what you want. And there you are, you want a chai tea, but for some reason you say, or not a chai tea, because chai means tea. A chai latte, maybe, I don't know. They ask, what do you want? Anything but black coffee. All right. Well, do you have any specific? Just anything but black coffee. I don't want black coffee. Just as long as you don't bring me black coffee, I don't care. And then they go to get your order. They have more people, so they're kind of scattered. And then as it comes to you, now they're going to make your order. They are kind of fuzzy. Like, what did he want? But they do remember you talking about black coffee a lot. You get a black coffee. Like, don't focus on the things going wrong. And I've been psychotic about focusing on the things I want. Feeding the wolf that is actually going to be beneficial to feed. You know, because today, and more than any time before, I feel like a lot of people are talking about the things that they don't want. Well, I'm trying to do everything in my power to not only talk about the things I want, but do the things I want. And then live how I want. And then when I do that, it comes with certain things, values. I don't like the education system. I don't like the law, how it is in certain areas. I don't like how the integration from prison to society works. I'm so against so many things. So when I say why I live as I do, I say it as it is, and they get triggered, activated. But they like to talk about black coffee a lot, or not wanting it. So all they do is drink black coffee. That makes sense. I have learned that I'm fucking resilient. And now I have a blank canvas that has no paint on it other than what I want to bring. Again, it's like a new cycle. Again, I've said the same thing now every time this type of year or this time of year for like 3 years. This is just the start. Now it begins. Because it always feels like, there we go, you know, and we do. Everything kind of changes to where the focus went. But now it's like in a position where I can do so much more than I could before that it's almost paralyzing. It's like too many things being possible at the same time, and then being focused or disciplined or whatever. Because of yesterday and the conversation and all those realizations that I had during the conversation, I was not even out of bed until 3 p.m. this afternoon. It was like, fuck, what's the point? You know, because everything kind of feels like you're preparing for external factors. Always being vigilant. Always being with your head on a swivel. I just want to have a blowjob while sitting in peace and watching Rick and Morty, you know? With no conditions. Almost. If one is to put it on the spot. Unconditional love, or unconditional. Non-transactional. While I'm doing that, I'm also trying to be what I'm saying, right? So I'm not transacting anything. It makes things a little bit difficult, but at the same time, now I'm talking differently. So it's a completely different vibe. Actually, I'm not speaking at all. Sometimes I'm just going on to lives with the fucking mask. I'm sitting there, not saying anything. Sometimes, if I say anything, it's going to be a little, and I say it with the vocal changer. And dude, what happens to people when they sit there and they look at the blank expression of a mask? Nothing else. And with a little prompt as to where to take their mind, I guess. I mean, how? Why? Why are people sharing that much to a complete stranger? Like an anonymous stranger. I activate people. And I have found a lot of interesting things just living that. Just trying to just see what happens in silence. And fuck, silence is crazy. But yeah, as we said, solitude. I'm also thinking about making the things here a little bit more efficient. Meaning other agents around the fire. More take off aligned. And now Leia is moving. I love you, you know? Yeah, I know I have a lot of frustration in me, but it's for other reasons than before. I guess I'm like frustrated because I have seen validations of things that I feared almost. Like you hoped that it wouldn't be like XYZ, and then things continuously just show itself to be what you thought. Kinda. And then being manic and just not giving up. Almost. Not flinching or just standing in it, because maybe if I'm just waiting long enough, it's going to be better. But if you don't, if you have to make the choice, which I think is, you know, what we all have to do, kind of. You have to make the choice to kind of protect yourself. When you act or when you accept it, it's frustrating because it's kind of like, how long have you been trying to change something? Can't. And the more you stay, the more entanglements there are. More things are kind of left to be eased out afterwards, I guess. Or learned again. Because if you learn how to dim your light and you just get completely naturally comfortable in dimmed light, not being 100%, I think it's hard to come back. It's like being a singer and then all of a sudden you have complete crippling social anxiety and then you're asked to sing on the stage again. You need to go through a few processes, I guess, and just learning to walk again. So that's kind of why I'm frustrated, because I see more and more how much, but I think it's just a little, like, it's a passing thing, because I haven't shared what I just shared with you. With anyone, actually. This is the first live I've had like this ever in this place. So it's just going through and feeling the things. It's good too, because there was a time where I could just think about them and all of a sudden I felt like my whole nervous system was just going to break. Well, now I can talk about it and feel a little frustrated, but know that I will, yeah. You still think the same. If you still think the same, all will be the same. Yes, I agree. Energy attracts more of the same. Your thoughts reflect your future. I also think that your thoughts and the energy that you get from those thoughts, depending on how specific and visual and how emotional, energetic you get. Like if you have a really felt, energetically laden vision and specific clarity, those thoughts will just fuel energy. And that's the only thing that has kept me going, to be honest. Knowing that, okay, if I just, it's going to change. It has changed. That changed. Like if you, the moment one does that, I feel like you change, because you can't be depressed. You can be depleted, but you can't get bored. You can't get low vibrating and stay there, because, you know, you're just going to be picked up like into that energy. And if you have music, that's why I'm singing so much. I'm using the actual frequencies and sound waves and stuff to feel, and then 1 minute at a time. And even though I've been taking it 1 minute at a time, I can't believe that I'm sitting here in many ways. We've already had 2 ceremonies, 21st and 24th. We're going to have one more, the 2nd of the 2nd probably, and the 3rd of the 3rd. Getting into the traditions. But what I need now, what I see that I have, not really what I need either. What would aid? Music brings out the best of us. I agree. But I've been looking for the right people in my physical vicinity. You know, that helps on levels that is hard to communicate. Because at the end of the day, the tribe and the collective, like the community, the people, the right people. You don't have the right people. Anything happening on the 6th of the 6th? Yes. What that is up to us to figure out and plan. Because I have to put down dates, and that's kind of it. Everything else is laid out. There are so many things that can just be picked out to be done on such dates, but I have been trying to do all these things alone so far. I tried last June as well, you know, the whole road trip we were supposed to have. I was on a road trip, but I was also doing everything. And even though I was very clear, kind of talking in ways that I thought was efficient, didn't work. Like there was a whole thing. We were like 4 people or something on the journey on that, because it was so much more than just a road trip. It was logistics and trying to connect with people and trying to arrange so that we could just stop in. I did that. I stopped with a lot of people and I had a lot of bonfires and a lot of things, but it did not turn out as it should. And that's when I learned. I got the experience. So the 6th of June is 2 days after my birthday. And also it's the date, I believe, that the first psilocybin was ever consumed. I think that's the birth date of Bob Hayes. The avatar that started it all. I'm not sure. But yes, absolutely. I want to do something for the summer. And also I have never celebrated my birthday. Ever. I've been seeing that because of my conditioning in terms of gifts and in terms of what one deserves, I guess. My whole thing around celebration around myself or doing something that is for that, if it feels so fucking unnatural. Like, I sometimes judge people that says, "Oh, my birthday is coming up in like a month ahead of time." Sometimes you can overdo it, but birthdays has been an interesting thing for the last decade. Solstices and equinoxes of the year 26, 20 March of 26, very important this time. I know. Yes, I agree fully. That date, does that change, by the way? Is it 20th? Has it always been 20th? 21st was of 25 for me, and it was because of that date. That has more power in my life than Christmas and New Year's combined. Because that's when everything starts to live again. You know? Yeah, you know, but many people don't. Just yesterday, I was told by someone, did you know that on a turtle's shell, there are 13 squares, symbolizing the 13th month, and the 28th? All those things. The natural calendar inscribed on the shell of a tortoise. I think we need to just follow those, and everything will be fine. Mankind, spiritual awakening for mankind. If one is out at sunrise, yeah. I will be out at sunrise. I will make sure that, you know, the thing that goes into the sunrise is what it usually is. But this time, very much prepared because, you know, last year it was more of a feeling it out. And this time is like, I know exactly how I'm going to spend that transition and just sit there and feel the sun ray of the first sun, you know? That is also something that is a lot better in summer. Because a few days ago I was trying to do that in the cold now, waiting for the sunrise. You need a lot of fire. You need a lot of firewood. It gets expensive if you're going to carry that through the night here with mixed wood. I need to find a fucking wood sponsor. So many ways I can spin that. But I need to find a good solution for the outside area of bonfires and watching the sunrise. I'm at the place all the way south in Norway on the peninsula. So I have the sunset and sunrise just on, you know, panoramic view of the ocean, almost. I'm very fascinated about where I ended up. It's a download, yes. Do you recommend some other agents other than just being present for the sunrise? Going into the afterglow after a tea ceremony, for instance. Or a little Dimitri conversation. Fuck, I need to pee like a fucking racehorse. Watching the sunrise for the 4 past days due to perfect weather conditions. They are. I haven't, like... Why the past 4 days? Is it something that has been calling you more than normal to just see the sunrise or the sunset? 'Cause that's where I'm at. I'm like, completely obsessed these days. I have to pee. I have to pee. It didn't work. It didn't work fondling with myself. I really have to pee. Oh. Oh, that was really good. That was really good. It's currently 7:20. I should actually. It's Wednesday, so I was supposed to be at a certain club this time of year or this time of week. I usually go to a club that is very interesting. I have coffee at this club, a secret society type club. But I have to travel for very long, relatively long distance to get to that club. And they started 20 minutes ago. So I don't think I will be doing that today, but it would be good. I have been streaming now for 1.5 hours, and I'm not sure what the rest of the evening brings. Because every time there's something happening that's like, oh, didn't see that coming. Did you moved? How do you what happened? Where do you live right now? Like, or not where do you live exactly right now? But you don't live. You have an outside area that is kind of natural with a view. Vernal equinox, March 20, 2026 at 7:46 UTC. That is 10:46 a.m. EDT. Summer solstice is at June 21st, 2026 at 01:24 UTC. 1:30 basically. 4:24 a.m. EDT. Autumnal equinox is September 22nd, 26 at 17:05 UTC. March 20th, June 21st, September 22nd, December 21st. Yeah. Can relate. But what kind of place did you end up with? Is it a long way from where you were? Are you closer to Shady? I don't know where Shady lives, but she also has a view of the Bergen port or the fjord. I need to come into balance here. Just getting a few things out of the boxes. Or placing things a little bit better. Getting a few practical furniture. Should be easy. But what are your plans? Like, what are you going to do March 21st, which is or March 20th, the first one? What are your plans for this evening? There are so many ways to skin this cat. I like that expression, but I don't condone. Because I have a place, but at the same time, on top of a cliff with panorama's view of the sea. Yes, that's exactly what I was. So then the question is, do you want to do that here, or do you want to do that in Bergen? Because there is a ancient Viking type or like Norse heritage place here where I've been. It's where I picked the first mushrooms of the season. It's in an ancient spot. It has a panoramic peninsula type view. Very historic in many ways. And I want to do something quite different. In this place, you can actually sit. This depends on the energy that you seek, though. But there are a few bunkers with the ocean view where you can set up tables and shit. I think one could have a lot of fun in those places. But there's also this ancient, freaking huge engraved stone, a huge, like, rock type mountain mound. It has the most epic sunrises and sunsets. Now my brain is spinning. We need to figure out what to do for March 20th. Try to plan a little bit in advance. Gather a few interesting people. But the more people we are on the same wavelength, the right people, the more interesting it would be. And when you think about it, like, I'm starting to think I will be at the highest point in the area. That would actually be a kind of cool thing to kind of find, though. If I was to come into Bergen, I was like, okay, where is he? What is the highest point? And then there it is. And there he is, watching the sunset or watching the sunrise. For how long? And do you just, because I imagine there are many ways to meditate. Will you be sitting there and just closed eyes until the sunrise and then just watch as it comes up? In complete silence or fire or guided? One in a lifetime, yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Hmm. Friday the 20th. Silence, fire, and psychedelics. I shall meet the gatekeeper. Again. Because I imagine that this is... It's not a new entity that you're going to meet. But this time it's different. Or... God damn it. There's so many things that has happened since we spoke last. And I imagine that you have been you, so... We need to have a chat. We need to have a conversation. And then again, I'm very much more on the whole natural, face to face. The mystic, yes. Yes. This is why I like you. This is what I appreciate about you. I'm so freaking fed up, kind of, with communicating like this. Not exactly like this. This is even worse in so many ways. But at the same time, it is a means to an end, I guess. And then talking on digital means, like on platforms and shit, it takes away so much. Lately, I've been kind of just stubborn and saying, I'll be by the fire, and you can come up physically by the fire, and we can talk. It feels better. It's like, I want to talk to you so bad. So fucking bad. For hours, just like we always did, you know, because we can't fucking help ourselves. At the same time, I want to do that face to face because there's been so long. It's been so fucking long that I can't imagine the conversation that would happen around fire. I have an idea for March 20th for my sake right now, or this year. I'm not sure if I'm going to be joining you in Bergen because I have my kids that weekend. It's a Friday. Because of the events of yesterday, I can't even start to plan anything when I see that I have that week or that weekend until things are smoothed out. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to talk. I'm going to be on a mountain here on the 20th of March. I'm going to bring my kids into it. I'm going to figure out how they can also be part of the celebration. And then, yeah, I might be in Bergen before March. And then again, I'm not sure I will because it's during the winter times. It's during a hibernation. And I'm trying to limit my travels. But after March, and again, it's still January, and I've been thinking about you a lot lately. So I don't know. I'm going to take things 1 minute at a fucking time. And then things, I know, I've been here also all the time. But I know. We were supposed to meet up a long time ago, and everything was prepared, and we had a full journey ahead of us and everything. But I don't believe in coincidence at all. Seeing everything that has happened over the last years, I don't believe in coincidence anymore. And also, I was thinking about this earlier. Yes, I know. I was thinking about this earlier. The first time I got a message about you was from your girlfriend. And I was standing inside of a van, and that van was parked outside of my house. It was owned by a very specific person. And that was a chapter of my life that was unique. It was intense. It was the most, I can't even explain it, but I remember when I got in and we sat down, I was in the office, and how I came back, she asked, well, did you talk to someone new? She saw how I was. And that stuck. It is interesting. The timing of things. But you have been there all the time. Well, you did leave the Discord. And I'm there all the time when I'm not with people physically. And I do understand you, of course. It's a burden and a blessing. It's a whole... It's hard. Because here, there are not a lot of people in general. And out of those people with psychedelic insights, even rarer. And people with psychedelic insights into the same observations and experiences that I've had, even fewer. And the things that we have talked about, the things that we have experienced and documented, it's not something you find everywhere. So for me, you are the unique one. There is only you. Nah, I miss you, man. And also, I have a spare room. When I get into order, you're always welcome. You're welcome now as well, of course, but I'm going to give you the address, something that I don't give to people. I call it Death's Waiting Room, so people will know that there's a place. Nobody really knows where I live. I was even peeved when my family started to understand or realize where I lived, but we are. But I think it's only because we have seen a few things that makes it so. You know? But I want to, like always, you know, the door here is always open. I will send you the address. And you send me your address, and then all of a sudden, there's a knock on the door. Either in Bergen or here. And a good conversation. But don't do it on the YouTubes. Let's do it on the SMS. You are also the only other person that has my number. I thought about this a few days ago when you sent the... What did you send? You sent the link. And I haven't seen anything on the messages. Yeah. Yeah. The consciousness may not belong to you. I was like, yes. Yes. We have. And I think we always will. We always will. But you're the only one that has that number. And now I have two numbers inside of the Ulefone, which is a horrible phone if you're going to be a content creator of any kind, because it has an built-in microphone, horrible sound. But whenever I get a message from you, I know it's you, because you're the only one who has that number, and it has a different sound. So it's like... There are many people who wonders who you are. Again, because of the different names you can be found through. You've seen you in passing. Have you been keeping tabs on the Johns Hopkins DMT mapping? The intravenous. Experiments? I wanted to say experiments, but at the same time, it's not. More and more people are waking up to the fact, though. Knock, knock. Who's there? That's the only joke that is really interesting while you're live. Because of the latency. Also, it could be that you wrote knock knock when I was talking about the knocking on the door, which means that there's a huge latency. But what I say now might take ages for you to hear. Kind of like a dying star. I'm sleep deprived, man. I need to have some food. I'm not really sleep deprived either. I'm not really sleep deprived either. I had D vitamins. Can you repeat the last question? No. No. Sometimes I just talk, and when I do, I have no idea what I say. Probably the whole you're unique because you're the only other person that has the number on my phone. You reached out when I was in transition, and because of that, you and only you got that new number, and I was just not using it. I've been a nomad for a long time, and just more and more putting the phone away. But DMT, yes. How far have you gone? Like, have you been following the experiment? Are there any progresses or like developments or new discoveries within the experiment on the Johns Hopkins, the mapping, the scientific bureaucratic shit, almost, not really, but you know what I mean. The mainstream discovery. And what have you discovered? Have you discovered anything new? Because every time we spoke, there was a new piece that you have seen that kind of fits the whole picture, adds to the thing. It's like the code of reality. I'm paying attention there as well, just to see how many people are coming back with the same results. What do they come back with? All those things. And I'm thinking more about DMT in terms of a lot. Ah, yes. You had enough test subjects, so I was not called in this time around. Okay. I see. How many do they have? For some reason, I'm picturing a fucking ward where people look like they're giving blood, but it's not. It's not that. Just sitting there talking to each other. No, that would be interesting. But I also want to do some of those things privately. You know, gather evidence and do the things. Because we have. The whole thing that now in my case is just psilocybin, but I've been documenting it for 3 years. 4 years soon. Like, consciously. And been doing it so long that it's like the amount of observations, documentation, all those things, and the thoughts and questions that has arisen because of it. And given where we're at, like what people are talking about, more and more people are opening their eyes to plant medicine in general. DMT, I feel like it's so efficient at what it does. It's so, yeah, efficient is probably what I would go for. 20 minutes, coupled with all the other psychedelic insights, gathering observations and just talking about it more. But I'm not sure. I have no idea. I have become more and more anonymous, more and more the wizard, more and more within Orpheus Wise, because it seems like people don't listen to words if they know a earlier version of the person saying them. Sometimes. And I think that the Coda Reality Project and Dimitri and all those things are very necessary to enlighten. Not necessarily like sitting on the freaking, you know. I have to put the phone down now, been asked a question at this FAU-möte. All the parents are giving me the... I love you, bro. I will quit the stream. Do the thing. You're fucking amazing. And go change the world in the educational space. I love you, man. Oh, fucking amazing. Yeah, I look forward to it. See you.
I never walked those northern trails, but still they call my name. A whisper through the evergreens, a spark inside the flame. I'm just a southern wanderer with stories in my bones. Yet every road I travel feels like guiding me back home. I've carried nights of heavy storms and rose from where I fell. I've stood alone with shadows that I've come to know too well. But every scar I'm wearing is a map of where I've been, a forge of fire teaching me to build myself again. I'm called by the north, by the wild, by the wind, by the life I've been losing, and the one I'll begin with my two little wolves running close to my side. I'm a father, a fighter, a man still alive, and the path may be rough, but I walk it with worth, cause I'm shaped by the sound. But I'm called by the north. Oh, tram with the courage, Violetta with the light. They see the truth inside me when the world is losing sight. And I would stand through fire just to keep them standing strong. They're the reason that my broken heart still beats its battle song. I've lost some brothers on the way, some just lost their flame. I watched them fade to silence when the storm began to rain. But I keep marching forward with my eyes on something more, a vision carved in hunger in the life I'm forging for. I'm called by the north, by the wild, by the wind, by the life I've been losing, and the one I'll begin with my two little wolves running close to my side. I'm a father, a fighter, a man still alive, and the path may be rough, but I walk it with worth, cause I'm shaped by the south. But I'm called by the north. Oh, there's a song inside my chest I've been singing in the dark. I don't know all the words yet, but I recognize the spark. And it leads me like a lantern through the places I have bled. I follow where it takes me, cause it knows the way ahead. I'm called by the north, by the wild, by the wind, by the fire that is ending, and the fire that begins with my two little wolves, and the truth I can't ignore. I'm a wanderer becoming something stronger than before, and whatever I face, I will rise from the earth. I was shaped by the south, but I'm forged by the north. Oh, yeah, I'm shaped by the south, but I'm forged by the north. I never walked those northern trails, but still they call my name. A whisper through the evergreens, a spark inside the flame. I'm just a southern wanderer with stories in my bones. Yet every road I travel feels like guiding me back home.
I've carried nights of heavy storms and rose from where I fell. I've stood alone with shadows that I've come to know too well. But every scar I'm wearing is a map of where I've been, a forge of fire teaching me to build myself again.
I'm called by the north, by the wild, by the wind, by the life I've been losing, and the one I'll begin with my two little wolves running close to my side. I'm a
inside me when the world is losing sight. And I would stand through fire just to keep them standing strong. They're the reason that my broken heart still beats its battle song.
I lost some brothers on the way, and some just lost their flame. I watched them fade to silence when the storm began to rain.
But I keep marching forward with my eyes on something more. A vision carved in hunger in the life I'm forging for.
I'm called by the north, by the wild, by the wind, by the life I've been losing, and the one I'll begin. With my two little wolves running close to my side. I'm a father, a fighter, a man still alive. And the path may be rough, but I walk it with worth. 'Cause I'm shaped by the south, but I'm called by the north. There's a song inside my chest
I've been singing in the dark,
I don't know all the words yet,
but I recognize the spark
and it leads me like a lantern.
through the places I've bled. I follow where it takes me, 'cause it knows the way ahead.
I'm called by the north, by the wild, by the wind.
By the fire that is ending and the fire that begins.
With my two little wolves and a truth I can't ignore. I'm a wanderer becoming something stronger than before. And whatever I face, I will rise from the earth. I was shaped by the south, but I'm formed by the north.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shaped by the south.
I'm forced by the north.